Hello, welcome to Skill Check, Positive Gaming Podcast from YMCA Exeter. My name is Andy.
And my name is Becky.
Becky, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
I'm not sure if I remember how to do this.
I think I lost my podcasting voice over the summer. So I'm now like calmer, more like not shouty Becky.
This is calm Becky.
Yeah.
This is, to be perfectly honest, at some point over summer holidays, my throat, my voice did this kind of weird croaky thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to keep this up throughout the next 20-25 minutes or so.
Well, you can try.
I have been told by many people I am very, very trying.
Yeah.
And that is the first and only dad gag I'm aiming for today.
Andy, seeing as you know more about what's coming up than I do, please can you tell us what's coming up?
Well, you would think I know more about what's coming up. Basically, we've been off for a few weeks, so a lot of today is about catching up on what we've missed. We're going to look at a little bit about gaming for kind of... I was going to say gaming for mental health, but that's basically us as a podcast, really. But there is this move in the States about that and about how that could be accessible over using kind of health insurance and things like that, and we're going to have a quick look at what that currently looks like. We are going to look at Game of the Week, but before that we have gaming news. So before that we have gaming news.
Gaming news. Our first piece of gaming news this week is Star Wars Outlaws has implemented a new September update that addresses issues with the game's stealth mechanics and provides other quality of life changes. Ubisoft, always get that wrong, and Massive Entertainment released their first true open world game in sprawling Star Wars franchise in August 2024 to mostly positive reviews, though some players have been less than kind in their assessments. While Star Wars Outlaws provides plenty of variety in exploring planets, taking side quests for main crime syndicates and blasting away enemy ships in outer space, some players have taken issue with its technical presentation and combat.
So,
yep,
catch up time.
Yes, it is. We were catching up on gaming news. So.
We were talking about Outlaws a little bit as a thing on the horizon last time. It's been released.
Yeah.
Not everyone is massively happy over it. Some people would take issue with the use of the word open world.
Yeah.
Some people feel it could be more open world. Some complaints are that it looks pretty, but there's not a lot of depth to it at all.
Yeah.
There's some conversation over it being a 7 out of 10 game.
Okay.
In that, if it's not a 7, actually it's probably, well, because it is a 7, it's probably quite rubbish.
Yep.
So there's lots of kind of chatter about this game, and if this game is actually a good game at all, and if it's not, granted, when it was first released, there was this bug that kind of basically required you to restart the game.
Oh, good.
Which it mostly impacted the people who brought it, kind of pay the extra money to get it early.
Okay.
So the real kind of big fans who really committed to the game.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because we've talked before about delaying games so that they don't have bugs.
This still happens. This is still happening. Yeah. So I wonder if there's a little bit of it that's kind of
rushed.
Yeah.
We wanted to get it out when they told you we were going to get it out, so we forgot to fix some bugs.
Well, on that note, the creative director has basically come out and said that some of the stealth missions, particularly early on, are a little bit too challenging, I think is the word that was used. Yeah. So,
excellent. That's a perfect way to start a new game, isn't it?
I'm like, well, just like you just said, you know.
Yeah.
If it's too challenging to start again, why did they not pick that up?
Yep.
And considering the price point for this game, I think it's still something like 70 quid.
Yeah.
And that is the base edition.
Yeah.
That is not any of the extra bonuses or anything like that.
Gosh.
70 quid.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's the main reason why I've not picked it up yet.
Yeah.
I've been tempted. It's been close some evenings, but 70 quid. And I think that is another point as to why people are getting upset.
Yep.
Some of the advice I've heard is, it's a good game, get it on sale.
Yep.
Because the chances are,
at some point it'll be on
sale.
Yeah.
It could be quite cheap on sale. Personally, I'm tempted to wait till Black Friday.
That's not that far away now.
Yeah, it's not that far
Couple
away.
months.
It might not be too much of a price drop by that point.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing
I'm sure it'll come in Game of the Week at some point.
probably.
Yeah.
Exactly when, who knows? And it'll probably be Game of the Week for like a few weeks.
Because Andy will be playing it constantly.
Well, what really kind of tempted me into getting it is if you've got Amazon Prime, if you've got Amazon Fire Stick, you can use Amazon Luna, their cloud gaming service, hooked up with the Ubisofts.
This is like the new version of the thing that we don't talk about anymore.
Google Stadia. Rest in peace. But yeah, that was exactly it, so you can play it off the cloud, so you don't really have to worry about how well your PC is going to take it. Admittingly, you've got to worry about how well your internet connection is going to take it.
Yeah.
But if you've got a good internet connection, that was my main temptation.
Okay.
Haven't pulled the trigger on it quite yet.
Well, moving on. Our second piece of gaming news is the short-lived 5v5 hero shooter Concord is reportedly disappearing from people's PlayStation accounts after Sony shut down the game's servers and delisted it from sale in early September. While the shutdown of Concord was announced several days in advance, Sony never explicitly mentioned any plays to outright remove the game from players' accounts.
Yeah. Okay, so how long were we taking a break for?
We were probably 5 weeks, something like that, 6 weeks.
Nah, it wasn't even that long. I mean, we released at the start of August,
Yeah, it's now mid-September.
Yeah. All right, 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah. I think it's 5 weeks.
That is long enough for a new game to be released.
Yep.
To come out.
Yep.
For critical and commercial response to come in.
Yep.
And for that same game to be pulled from sale.
Wow. It was quick.
That is how quickly. I mean, I've actually... So, it was released on 23rd of August.
Yep.
Shut down on the 6th of September.
Wow.
So that's what? 3 weeks?
3 weeks, yeah. That is quite
Barely
crazy.
3 weeks.
Yeah. That's a lot.
I mean, PC Gamer called it underbaked, overpriced, and dated.
Yeah.
But, is it going to come back?
That's a great review, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I can say...
For a 2024 game, that's a perfect review,
Yeah.
Dated.
I mean, that sums up a lot of gaming
Yeah.
right now, considering what we just talked about in regards to Outlaws.
Yeah.
I reckon it'll come back as a free-to-play.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Watch
we'll
this space.
see going forward,
Yeah.
won't we? Our final piece of gaming news this week is, after years of rumours, speculation and hype, Sony has confirmed it is launching a more powerful and much more expensive version of its hugely popular PlayStation 5 console. The PS5 Pro will be able to show more advanced graphics and display the most demanding games at higher and more consistent frame rates. But that added power will come at a cost. The PS5 Pro will be the most expensive console from Sony to date. It will cost £699.99, so pretty much £700, when it launches on minus a penny on the 7th of November this year, hundreds of pounds more than the PS5.
And it doesn't come with a disc drive.
Wow. No disc drive. So you can't... could you ever...
You could, if you wanted, get a disc drive.
Okay.
So that would be plus, I reckon, at least 100 quid.
Oh.
So we're looking at, only £799.99.
For something you can't play your DVDs and your Blu-rays on. That's essentially what my brother-in-law does with his PlayStation 5, is they play their Blu-rays on it.
Wow. Okay.
He plays games. He's a gamer.
Okay.
He plays a lot of games on it. But they use it as their
but to get a
Blu-ray
PS5
player.
without the disc drive would be taking that away.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
So They use it as their like Blu-ray. I think it's
Same.
Blu-ray. Yeah, so they don't have to like have a Blu-ray player.
Which makes
Yeah, not that
perfect sense.
like lots
yeah.
of people own Blu-ray anymore, but that's
And so to keep that Blu-ray,
yeah,
that would be best part of £800.
yeah.
Now, one take I've seen on it is the graphical quality increase. To take advantage of that, a lot of people probably need to get new TV sets.
Yeah.
So, and how much is a TV set? You know, a decent one.
Yeah.
Couple hundred.
I mean, no, more than that now, like £300-400, I think.
So we're looking at £1,100.
Yeah.
Great.
It's a lot of money.
Okay, so we're looking at £1,000 for new PlayStation. Great. I won't be getting the PlayStation Pro. Just for record. Just to be clear, if my wife is watching,
yeah.
PS5.
You don't have a PlayStation
maybe.
Anyway, though, do you? You don't
I've
really a
got
PlayStation
PS2.
person.
I can't. There's some games on PS5 I'm kind of intrigued by, but maybe that's for the second-hand market, and I just want to play Spider-Man 2.
It's just sad that you can't play Spider-Man 2.
Without it crashing all the time. That's what this is all about.
I mean, it might drive the cost of the PlayStation 5 down, I guess.
Well, Sony have basically come out and said they're going to start reselling kind of second-hand PlayStation 5s now, which gives me hope.
Yeah.
For an affordable PlayStation 5 at some point in the future.
Yeah. I just had to double-check that the PlayStation 5 played Blu-rays because I've had comments before from like, you didn't fact-check that. So it does play Blu-rays.
Excellent.
I just checked. I was like, I'm sure they play their Blu-rays.
You see, I was like, I'm 90% certain that they do. Because, you know, Sony, because I'm fairly certain Sony own Blu-ray.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had a Blu-ray in my life. But they don't really own many, but they just, sometimes it's useful. No, because by the time, like, I had a DVD player back in the day, and then when I was a kid, we had a video player. That's how old I am. But I never really
bought some videos over the weekend.
You bought a video?
I brought 3 videos over the weekend.
Whoa!
Got no idea if they'll work.
Retro. We still have a video player at home because my parents have loads of home videos that they've recorded over the years. So they kept the video player so they could play their home videos. So,
let's give it time, and that tech will come back.
We've gone retro. If you don't know what a video player is, Google it. Yeah. So I've never owned a Blu-ray player because they weren't round for that long. Like, Blu-ray wasn't a thing for that long. I mean, it still exists now, but we kind of skipped. We went very quickly.
Sure, you're thinking of
We went very quickly from DVD to Blu-ray to then suddenly having Netflix. And I just watch the things on Netflix and Disney Plus now.
I mean, no one actually gets up, takes the Blu-ray off their shelf and put it into a player.
Yeah, my parents have
Netflix and Disney Plus.
Stacks of DVDs that have not been used in about 10 years.
I have an attic devoted to that. We have gone wildly off.
We have.
Now. I think that's the end of gaming
That is
news.
the end of gaming news.
Let's talk about something I just stumbled on.
Okay.
Imagine the scenario that you go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about feeling kind of stressed and burnt out.
Yep.
And the doctor kind of sends you home.
Yep.
With instructions to play video games.
Is that a thing?
Well, I mean, I know that we've kind of talked about how we've kind of talked about this.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
In a kind of non-medically trained professional sort of way. More often, I guess, more weeks than not.
Yeah.
But this is actually kind of an idea and a dream behind like this company in America called Deepwell DTX. In that they'd like this sort of treatment to be covered by, I guess, in America, health insurance companies, and it'd be covered by your employers' health insurance.
Okay.
So I'm hoping, some sort of insurance / NHS thing would apply over here. And kind of the hope is that the insurance company would kind of pay for like the game and maybe even the VR kit.
Oh, okay.
And things like, and basically all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
In order to give people access to positive mental health gaming.
Wow.
At home.
That's good.
And it's very much kind of, but the catch, I guess, I'm saying the word catch, not really a catch. It's not, so we often talk about kind of mental health benefits of mainstream games.
Yeah.
There is the flip side, which is kind of, I guess, games or apps which are kind of mental health orientated, but with a gamified element attached to it. What these guys are looking for are basically the step in between.
Okay.
Where they are games first and foremost.
Yeah.
But with a mental health kind of focus, positive, and it's kind of designed within the game.
Yeah.
So their concept is actually a first-person shooter.
Nice. Okay. Interesting choice.
Thank you.
Yeah. For people that are stressed?
Well, they call it a mental health action shooter.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't shoot with like guns and bullets and things like that. You shoot with wizard beams.
Right. Okay.
And it's not kind of trigger based.
Yeah.
So you're not kind of pushing buttons, pointing buttons. But so this is on the Quest Pro 2 and Quest 3.
Yeah.
And it uses your breathing to fire.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So it's very much kind of breathing based.
Yeah.
Which I always get a little bit kind of weirded out by talking about how breathing is positive to kind of stress and pain management, because, you know, it's breathing. It is.
There's a lot of psychological. Because there's a lot of psychological evidence to suggest that the way that you breathe can release stress. So taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out actually can reduce heart rate, and then gives your blood pressure down and things like that as well. So there are reasons for that. So actually helping people to breathe deeply can be a stress reliever. So
yeah. I mean, thank you, because I'm like, it's breathing.
Yeah.
I get that it is good.
So we're not the right people to talk to this about this, because Andy and I both struggle with breathing, which is
true.
Yeah. So, but we've done a lot of when we talk to young people and things, particularly when they're revolving around stress, and any of our lovely children's wellbeing practitioners here will tell you that a lot of the times some of deep breathing and actually can just release that pressure and that tension, and it means that it can calm you down. They use it as kind of an anger management tool in schools, where they just, I mean, it's not always effective because sometimes young people don't want to do deep breathing. But if you can get young people to deep breathe, then actually it can calm that anger and that stress down.
I think what the idea behind this game is to try and combine that with that dopamine hit of playing games.
Yeah.
So therefore, you are doing breathing exercises whilst feeling good about the game you're playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like,
double whammy.
And they've got like, is it FDA? The kind of federal kind of medical.
Yeah, medical federal
people,
drug something.
Yes. Kind of
administration, I think it is.
They've got approval and money for this.
Yeah.
So it is looking like it could be an actual thing in the future.
Well, I guess if we see how it goes in the States, then I guess they might try something similar over here.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that will be a marketplace for them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get the game Zengence.
Okay.
Here in England, costs £15, I think. So not a huge amount.
Yeah. So maybe if you are feeling stressed, if you want to try it out and you've got a Meta, have a go. And now it's time for Andy's Game of the Week. Andy, what is your game this week?
Okay, so I've been on holiday, and I mean, I've start of August. I kind of finished off like the main kind of gameplay points of a few games.
Yeah.
So I've been a little bit lost gaming wise.
Okay.
We've gone to visit Uncle Ben at his grave in Spider-Man.
Okay.
I don't feel like there's anything more I can do in the game. I have uncovered like the last big lightsaber to find in Jedi Survivor. I'm like, okay, right.
Got a bit stuck.
A little bit. And I don't really want to talk about Mario Kart.
You played a lot of Mario Kart over your holiday,
A lot of
didn't you?
Mario Kart. Side point, if there's a 12-year-old in your life who likes to play Mario Kart, that's a great way just to bond with that 12-year-old.
I have a 3-year-old in my life that likes to play Mario Kart.
Play Mario Kart with that 3-year-old.
He was really enjoying playing Mario Kart over the summer as well.
Totally.
So, yeah.
It was suggested to me by my daughter, was scrolling through the Xbox game sale the other week, that I should download Ghostbusters.
Okay. How did that go?
Ghostbusters, awesome game. I mean, we've played it before on the Switch, so she kind of knows it. She enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit too complicated for her to be bothered with.
Okay.
Gaming-wise, but she enjoys kind of watching.
Yeah.
The ghost fights and monsters and things like that.
Yeah.
For Ghostbusters fans, at the time it was meant to be like the third movie, but in game form. So if you're a fan of the Ghostbusters movies, have you not seen the Ghostbusters movies?
I have seen all.
80s.
I've seen all of the Ghostbusters movies. I don't remember them.
You need to do something about that.
I watched them when I was quite little. And I don't have a lot of... I remember there being a big man walking through New York, breaking things. And then some ghosts. I've seen them all, but I don't remember.
That guy returns in the video game.
Okay.
It's
great.
You need to do something about this.
It's been a long time. I think probably in the 90s is the last time I watched them.
I mean, pacing-wise, it's probably 80s, very 80s, 90s.
Mm.
But... if you're a fan of the first two movies, it kind of ties up. It's basically the end of the trilogy of those three movies.
Okay.
Well, I would argue that it would still work even with the newer movies because it's just an adventure you've not seen.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
Available on many consoles. It's available on Switch and available on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Imagine it's on Xbox Series X and S. Imagine it's on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a fan of Ghostbusters, check it out. It's quite cheap when it comes to sales. Seasons.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well,
let's just move past that inability to talk at the end of the podcast.
Yeah. Well, on that note, that's all we've got time for today.
Moving on.
Yeah, that's all we've got time for today. If you do follow us, please do. Well, if you don't follow us, please do follow us on social media at YMCA Exeter and at YMCA Exeter Games. You can find us on YouTube. If you do find us on YouTube, please do like and comment and subscribe. And we will see you next week.